Quick preface to this reading. In Empire, the Reaper's existence is portrayed as walking through an endless cave and monitoring the status of candles in the walls, each representing a human life, each's wick burning down to its inevitable expiration. When the flames begin to turn blue and won't die, it's the first indication that something has gone wrong in the mortal world. And although the idea of a candle as representing mortality is certainly nothing new, I was still surprised when sometime later I found that there was a fairy tale, Godfather Death, which used the same concept of death in a cave with all these tiny flames burning around him. I suppose I could have heard the story as a kid, though I don't recall. Or maybe it's just one of those ideas woven into our collective unconscious. Godfather Death. An old man had 12 children and had to work day and night in order just to feed them. Thus, when the 13th came into the world, not knowing what to do in his need, the man ran out onto the highway, intending to ask the first person whom he met to be the godfather. The first person who came his way was our dear God, who already knew what was in the man's heart, and God said to him, "Poor man, I pity you. I will hold your child at his baptism and care for him and make him happy on earth." The man said, "Who are you?" "I am God." "Then I do not wish to have you for a godfather," said the man. "You give to the rich and let the poor starve." Thus spoke the man, for he did not know how wisely God divides out wealth and poverty. Then he turned away from the Lord and went on his way. Then the devil came to him and said, "What are you looking for? If you will take me as your child's godfather, I will give him an abundance of gold and all the joys of the world as well." The man asked, "Who are you?" "I am the devil." "Then I do not wish to have you for a godfather," said the man. "You deceive mankind and lead him astray." He continued on his way, and then Death, on withered legs, came walking toward him and said, "Take me as your child's godfather." The man asked, "Who are you?" "I am Death, who makes everyone equal." The man said, "You are the right one. You take away the rich as well as the poor without distinction. You shall be my child's godfather." Death answered, "I will make your child rich and famous, for he who has me for a friend cannot fail." The man said, "Sunday is the baptism. Be there on time." Death appeared as he had promised, and served as godfather in an orderly manner. After the boy came of age, his godfather appeared to him one day and asked the boy to go with him. He took him out into the woods and showed him an herb that grew there, saying, "Now you shall receive your godfather's gift. I will turn you into a famous physician. Whenever you are called to a sick person, I will appear to you. If I stand at the sick person's head, you may say with confidence that you can make him well again. Then give him some of this herb, and he will recover. But if I stand at the sick person's feet, he is mine, and you must say that he is beyond help, and that no physician in the world can save him. Beware of using this herb against my will, or something very bad will happen to you." It was not long before the young man had become the most famous physician in the whole world. People said of him, "He only needs to look at the sick in order to immediately know their condition, whether they will regain their health or are doomed to die." And people came to him from far and wide, taking him to their sick and giving him so much money that he soon became a very wealthy man. Now it came to pass that the king became ill. The physician was summoned and was told to say if a recovery were possible. However, when he approached the bed, Death was standing at the sick man's feet, and so no herb on earth would be able to help him. "If I can only deceive Death for once," thought the physician. "He'll be angry, of course, but because I am his godson, he will shut one eye. I'll risk it." He therefore took hold of the sick man and laid him the other way around, so that Death was now standing at his head. Then he gave the king some of the herb, and the king recovered and became healthy again. However, Death came to the physician, making a dark and angry face, and threatened him with his finger. Death said, "You have betrayed me. I will overlook it this time, because you are my godson. But if you dare do it again, it will cost you your neck. for I will take you yourself away with me." Soon afterward, the king's daughter became seriously ill. She was his only child, and he cried day and night until his eyes were going blind. And then he proclaimed that whosoever rescued her from death should become her husband and inherit the crown. Now when the physician came to this sick girl's bed, again he saw death at the patient's feet. He should have remembered his godfather's warning, but he was so infatuated by the princess's great beauty and the prospect of becoming her husband that he threw all thought to the winds. He did not see that death was looking at him angrily, lifting his hand into the air, threatening him with his withered fist. The physician lifted the sick girl and placed her head where her feet had been, and then he gave her some of the herb. And her cheeks immediately turned red, and life stirred in her once again. Death, seeing that he had been cheated out of his property for a second time, approached the physician with long strides and said, "You are finished. Now it is your turn." Then Death seized him so firmly with his ice-cold hand that the physician could not resist, and was led into an underground cavern. There the physician saw thousands and thousands of candles burning in endless rows, some large, other medium-sized, others small. Every instant some died out, and others were relit, so that the little flames seemed to be jumping about in constant change. "See," said Death, "these are the life-lights of mankind. The large ones belong to children, the medium-sized ones to married people in their best years, and the little ones to the old. However, even children and young people often have only a tiny candle." "Show me my life-light," said the physician, thinking that it would still be quite large. Death pointed to a little stump that was just threatening to go out and said, "See, there it is." "Oh, dear godfather," said the horrified physician, "light a new one for me. Do it as a favor for me, so that I can enjoy my life and become king and the husband of the beautiful princess." "I cannot," answered Death. "One must go out before a new one is lighted." "Then set the old one onto a new one that will go on burning after the old one is finished," begged the physician. Death pretended that he was going to fulfill this wish, and he took hold of a large new candle. But, desiring revenge, he purposely made a mistake in relighting it, and the little piece of wick fell down and it went out. The physician immediately fell to the ground, and he too was now in the hands of Death.